Chief of Staff at Dash Radio, TV host for Cheddar Music, and a motivational speaker with videos on YouTube. She started with interviewing artists to working with them on brand and marketing campaigns, and she's booking them for shows. She's done over 300 interviews and has worked with everyone from Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Logic, Post Malone, Kendrick Lamar, and more. Jen hopes to fulfill her purpose by sharing her story to inspire everyone to follow their dreams. We're so excited to have her here today, so please join me in a round of applause in welcoming Jen.
Hello everyone, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, so first I just want to thank Sarah and Abby for having me. It really is a blessing and a privilege to be speaking in front of you guys today. So I'm going to be honest. Well, first, I graduated 7 years ago, and I know everyone in this room is thinking, you look like you're 12, and there is no way you graduated college and are even older than us. So I graduated 7 years ago, and when you're about to graduate college, you're about to get into this next chapter of your life. And when I was where you're sitting here today, I thought I knew everything. I thought, okay, I'm in my early 20s, I know everything I need to do, I have enough experience where there's really nothing no one can tell me or teach me, and I was absolutely wrong. So when they had asked me to speak today, I was like, there's so many different things I want to talk about, but I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't share all the things to help someone in this room. So today I want to talk to you guys about the 5 don'ts after you graduate. Number 1, don't feel rushed. Okay, so I already heard someone can relate to that. So when you graduate college, what are all these things that you have to do? It's graduate college, get a salary job that's going to be able to pay all your bills, get married, have kids. There's just so many things, and you're in your early 20s, you're anticipating your quarter-life crisis that's around the corner, and you feel like I'm running out of time. You get discouraged, and then you start to rush, and you think, I'm running out of time, and I need to do all these things on my bucket list tomorrow. That's not true at all either. So I don't want you guys to have any anxiety of what's going to happen, because I'm about to be 29 years old next month. I'm still paying school loans, I still don't own a house, I'm still not married, and I don't have kids. And although my life isn't where I thought it would be or what society says it should be today, my life was so much better and was more than I could have asked for or imagined. So I want to tell you guys, don't rush anything, because the last thing you want in life is to get something too soon and when you're not ready. And I get it. You get frustrated because you think you've done everything that you need to do to get the one thing that you want in life, but the only sign to tell you that you actually are ready is when you have it. So instead of getting frustrated and feeling discouraged, just be happy you don't have whatever that is you want today, because you're not ready enough to handle it, and you will be someday. Number 2, don't compare. So let's talk about why we feel rushed in the first place. It's the imaginary timelines that we've created and forced upon ourselves because of what we see on social media. So-and-so got engaged. So-and-so got married. So-and-so has a kid. So-and-so got a promotion at work. So-and-so got a brand new car. There's all this stuff, and there's 2 things wrong when you compare your life to someone else's on social media. Number 1, we all have our own path and purpose. How someone else does something that you want to do is how they were supposed to do it. How you're supposed to do it and how you're supposed to get it is only in a way that you can do it. So when you try to copycat what someone else is doing and you get frustrated, it's because you weren't meant to do it in that way. So stop trying to do it the way that you think you're supposed to, or how somebody else did it that you're looking at. There's only one way to do it, and it's only you who can actually do it. Number 2, social media is fake perfection. So, look, we probably all have Instagram, and when you think about Instagram, the reality is we only post our highlights. So what it is that you're jealous about and what you're comparing about is only what that person wants you to see. You have no idea what they went through to get there, what they had to do to get there, and what they had to do to continually stay there. And look, I know it's easier said than done. I'll never be a person who speaks on something and acts like they know everything. I'm a victim of social media and the comparisons. Do I archive a picture because it doesn't get enough likes? Yes. Do I compare myself to the girl I see on my Explore page? Yes. I post my struggles. I'm very open about my story, but I haven't posted everything. You can look on my feed, and I have a picture with Oprah when I was on her TV show. Great. I have a picture with the NBA Finals trophy because I did a brand activation for the Cavs last year with 2 Chainz and Ludacris. That picture's on there. There's a picture of me from Cheddar because I have my weekly TV show. So everything looks great when you see this, but what I didn't post, a picture when I was an Uber driver just 2 years ago. A picture when I was on my unemployment card because I quit the best paying job I had and maxed out my credit cards to $15,000 because I couldn't afford to get by in LA. So, and also, well actually this kind of threw me off, sorry. So another thing I don't have on there is what happened to me on my way to speak to you guys. Someone had broken into my car at work when I was about to come here, stole things in there, and also in the middle of planning my friend's funeral. So when you see stuff like this, you see all this good stuff and what they're talking about, but raise your hand if you're going through some kind of struggle or pain. So look around you. That's everybody, and I'm pretty sure what they're going through is not on their Instagram. So please stop comparing your life to someone's life on social media, because what you see is not the entirety of what's really going on every single day. Number 3, don't get discouraged. So I've been discouraged a lot in my life. And I talk about all of them, but there's one discouragement that was so bad that I never talked about it with anybody, so you guys are getting an exclusive. When I was a kid, I always knew I wanted to be on TV, and I lived in my Bulls jersey. Like every single child picture I have, I'm wearing my Bulls jersey, and that was it. It didn't matter. People were probably like, does she seriously not have any other clothes? So I always wanted to work for the Bulls, huge Bulls fan. And fast forward to college, I went to Columbia College for journalism, so I started to look into sports reporting. Fast forward to 2011, I became the youngest person in front office and the first intern for the Chicago Bulls, Bulls TV. So the way that it happened, I'm sitting there thinking, this was meant to be, and everything's gonna go perfectly. Again, wrong. So I get this internship, and it was in a crazy way, and the way that it happened made me realize this is it, and I did everything right. I had tweeted the Bulls account and was like, oh, I wonder if the guy who runs the Bulls social media account will be at Derrick Rose's camp. He DM'd me, nothing inappropriate, he DM'd me and said, I'm not going to be there, but why are you going to be there? I kind of lied, and I said, I'm going to be interviewing Derrick Rose at his camp, but I wasn't technically lying because they said, you're approved for press, but like, you know when athletes do interviews, there's like 20 mics, like that's what I was approved for, but I said, I'm interviewing Derrick Rose. Come to find out, I did get to interview Derrick Rose one-on-one. Don't know how that happened, I guess I spoke it into existence. So he's like, it's weird that you brought this, oh, sorry, backtrack. So I tell him, I really want to work for the Bulls. Is there any way you can watch my latest interview and give me some advice, because I would just really appreciate it. He said, Jen, it's so weird that you just messaged me today, because just this morning we talked about bringing on an intern for Bulls TV. Would you be interested? Obviously I was interested, so I took it, and it was crazy because they didn't even interview any other candidates. I didn't even have to do an interview, like they literally handed it to me, so I'm like, come on, this is like the biggest sign God could have ever gave me, like this is what you're supposed to do. So then when I got it, I realized this dream I had of working for the Bulls and having my dream job was a not so dream come true. So when I was working there, I was never taken seriously because I was a young girl. But it's okay, because not everybody's going to like you, and that's what you just have to accept. So I was just grateful for the opportunity and being there. So here comes the last home game of the regular season, and I'm just minding my business, about to say bye to everyone in the office, and my boss goes, thank you for all the work that you've done this year. I was devastated, because not only was I not interning for the playoffs when Derrick Rose won MVP, they had bench mob, and like this was like the best time since Jordan to be working for the Bulls, I wasn't going to be a part of that, and I also wasn't going to get the dream job that was literally, I thought, handed to me after college. So I was depressed, I was sad, but then I realized sometimes God gives you what you want to show you that's not really what you want. So don't get discouraged if you lose an opportunity, because there's always something better for you, even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment. Number 4, don't forget how far you've come. The thing that comes with discouragement is you forget about all the things that you've already done. So instead of being discouraged, you have to look at everything you have today. We're so blessed and don't realize the small things you have. Don't forget all the things that you've accomplished. Think about where you were before you started college. Think about where you were a year ago. Think about the things you used to be crying over, and think about all the goals that were once goals, and then now you can tell yourself and everybody you accomplished them. Use those moments, and instead of just being sad about what you don't have and what you want, use that as encouragement, as a reminder to know you're going to get everything you want in life. It's just going to take that time because you got everything that you got before. My last one, don't force it. So when we compare, get discouraged, and then we rush, we tend to act out of emotions because we're irritated, so we're thinking emotionally and acting out instead of thinking logically. Anything forced never works out. So I'm going to tell you guys a time that I did try to force something because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I reached out to Complex Media because I thought being part of Complex would give me more hosting opportunities, more money, would do well for my brand. I reached out, they signed me, that was great. That was 3 years ago. So now we're at 3 years, and it's literally on my to-do list to call Complex and say, I want to leave the network. Whenever I told people, I was like, well, why would you leave Complex? Like, that is like the biggest cosign like within the industry. Complex takes 50-50 of my ad revenue. Complex has never given me any opportunity, and I was making more money without them than I was with them. But I like to use Complex as my, oh, I needed this cosign, when really I didn't need a cosign, and I realized that from trying to force something. Is there anyone in here that wants to do YouTube, by the way, or no? No, I was gonna say, because people go on YouTube all the time and they think they make so much money off of it, but YouTube only pays you $2,000 for every million views. So I've been doing it for 10 years, 2,000, I only have maybe 4 million views, like do the math. So don't ever do anything like for money. So Complex, yeah, that was bad. But one thing I didn't force was Oprah. So I've always done research, plotted out my goals, planned it, and one night I was just on Oprah's website and a pop-up came up on the side that said, are you a big texter? I didn't know what it was, but I was absolutely a big texter, so I filled it out not knowing what this was for. A month later, I get a call from the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I thought it was a joke, because why would Oprah's show be calling me right now? So they told me that my response was one of the last responses they read that entire summer, and they just knew they had to have me on the show because it was so real, it felt personal, and they asked if I would be on it. After that, I was able to meet Oprah, she interviewed me, and then I was able to talk to her after the segment and told her, Oprah, I'm gonna be the next you, just the Filipino version. And Oprah hugged me and laughed and said, Jen, you know what, the next me will be you, just keep doing what you're doing because someone needs to be that voice. Whether she meant that or not, which I'm sure that she did, I used that as confirmation of I'm going about my purpose and everything I want to do in the right way. What that also told me was you literally don't have to force anything. I didn't work hard to stay up that night and go on her site and fill out this form. I just did it because it was in front of my face, and then look at how many more opportunities came from that. So don't ever force anything, because anything forced will never, ever, ever work out for you. So in the beginning, I told you guys I have my 5 notes after you graduate. but I kind of lied because I have 6, but I didn't want to say, I have 6 don'ts after you graduate. So is it okay if I give you my last point, because it's very lighthearted and I think everyone in the room needs to hear this. Number 6, don't stress about school loans. Oh gosh. So, graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2012, and when I graduated, they didn't have the diploma ready. They never have it ready right away. And I thought I would just get it in the mail with however long they needed to mail your diplomas. I did not get my diploma, and I thought, wait, did I not graduate? Because I definitely crossed that stage and no one sent me anything. I found out that Columbia didn't give me my diploma because I didn't pay my last summer class from that semester. In my defense, I thought they were going to add that class to all my other school loans I had, and that one class was $8,000, so I just wasn't trying to pay it. 2 years later, I paid it, but I had so much resentment towards it because it was $8,000. What class has to be $8,000? And I also thought a miracle was going to happen and somebody was going to wipe out everybody's school loans. That miracle obviously didn't happen, so I'm going to be paying them forever. So I want to bring this up because, okay, I paid off that $8,000 class, but I have don't clap for me yet because I still have a lot more. $27,000 in my name and $75,000 in my parents' name. So I'm going to be paying school loans forever, and I still have not even used my degree to get any job I had, so it's very frustrating. So how many people in this room have school loans? Okay, I was scared. I'm I really hope everyone raises their hand. So, school loans suck. And you know what? I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to let school loans make me pause my life and make decisions just based off of I have to pay off all this debt right away. Live life and don't worry about that stuff, because look, the reality is you already went through school. You're not going to go back in time, and you can't take back going to all your classes, and you got your diploma, so why stress about it? So I hope my 5 but 6 points have inspired you in a way to go about the next chapter of your life, and congratulations to the APIDA class of 2019.